back with another review video on the hair that I was wearing for the earlier part of the year. I had it in a wig. I wore it in my previous videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll go ahead and insert the pictures here, but this is the wig that I'm talking about that I was wearing for the early part of the year. And it was from the company called UNICE hair. I don't have it installed anymore because I did take it off, but I do have it right here to talk about in this review. So just to start off, like I said, I'm just gonna give some specs of the hair. Like I said, this is from the company UNICE hair, and I had gotten 3 bundles of body wave Indian hair as well as a lace frontal of body wave Indian hair. And the lace frontal was 14 inches and the 3 body waves were 18, 20, and 22. So those were the specs. And I did construct it into a wig, and this is what I had gotten. I also used the elastic band method. This is my first time using elastic band, and I think going forward I will always use an elastic band. So that is how I constructed this wig with the hair. Now, I wanted to try out UNICE hair because I saw so many reviews on them from YouTubers promoting it, and also it's affordable, and I wanted to try out a lace frontal for the first time ever. And lace frontals are pretty expensive, so I didn't want to drop hundreds of dollars on a frontal when it was my first time getting it, because I didn't know if I was going to like it. I didn't know if it was going to look good. I didn't want to drop too much money on something that I potentially might not like or might not wear for too long. For those 3 bundles and the frontal, I paid $189, but I did have some discounts, so it ended up being $179.55 with the discounts applied. But either way, that's under 200 bucks for 3 bundles and a frontal, so that's really good. So again, that's super affordable, so why not? Seriously? So that's the specs of the hair, and that's also how much I paid for it. So as you can see already, that's super affordable, and you guys probably already know why I wanted to try them out. I wore this for I got this end of December, and I didn't install it until January. And when I installed it and started wearing it, it was really good. I had no issues with it. I did bleach the knots of the frontal, as you can see. And I did customize and tweeze it. And then I sewed it onto the dome cap, like any other wig that I would create. So I had no issues with it. It was really nice and flowy and soft. It was the body wave, so you know, it did have that little soft curl to it. When you do wash it though, the curl is pretty much gone. It doesn't really stay, which is annoying. It didn't shed too much or anything like that. I had really no real issues with it when I first got it. However, that did change shortly. Let's talk about the frontal first. So the frontal did everything you do when you get a frontal to make it look normal, and everything was good. Put it on the wig cap, sewed it on, cut off that little piece, you know, it was right. But what I will say is that, so that was January I installed it. Come February, like probably I would say towards the end of Feb, like this wig was shedding like no other, let me tell you. I would comb it out, mad hair. I would brush it out, a lot of hair. I run my fingers through it, just, you know, just playing with your hair. You know, you run your fingers through your hair sometimes, hair. And I was like, why is it shedding so much? And then I realized, you know, as the days went by, I felt like the frontal was balding. And because I would notice that there wouldn't be, like, I would always do a side part. When I first got it, I did do a middle part sometimes. So, you know, I like to switch it up. I don't always like to do a side part. I like to switch it up, do a middle part sometimes. So when I went to go a party to do a middle part, it was just like, it didn't look right. It was too much scalp, if you know what I mean. Too mumuch lace was showing. I was like, this doesn't sound right. So I was like, whatever. So I just continued to do my side part. And then I realized that the side part was starting to bald too. And I had to like do a lot to kind of cover the bald spot. So it took me a lot longer to get ready in the morning sometimes, because I realized that when I would part it in the same exact part location that I always parted it in, it would be more difficult to style, because it would be too much lace showing. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Why is this frontal balding on me? Rewind back to when I said that it was just shedding like crazy. Turns out that what was actually shedding was the frontal, not the actual bundles. Because what I did was I put my hair up in a half up, half down style, where I was just brushing out the bundles. And when I was brushing out the bundles, there was like little to no hair actually shedding. And I was like, okay. So then when I actually put on the frontal and I brushed my hair again, that's when all the hair was coming out. And I realized, okay, It's not the bundles that's shedding OD, it's the actual frontal that's shedding OD. And I'm gonna show you guys how bad it got, because it got really bad. So if you can see, this is the frontal. Do you see all the space? All that space right here? Over here too. If you can see, these are my nails. But like, look at all that lace that's showing. That's not normal. There's supposed to be hair all over here. Now I'm just combing it back. Like just combing the hair back. Look at all that lace showing. And no, this is not excess lace that you cut off before you put it on, because I had already done that. That was all gone. This is the actual lace that's left from the balding of the frontal, okay? Do you see all this? Do you see that? Do you see that? And don't mind this rip, that was me ripping it prior by accident. Look. All this is hair that was shedding. So no matter where you parted, it was just so much lace that was showing. It would look like you were bald or you had no edges, no hair or anything. Let me show you what I mean, because I'm not crazy. So I'm just gonna take this wide tooth comb. I'm gonna go ahead and comb this out, okay? Even though I already combed it out, I'm just combing it out again. So there's not really many tangles to it. And just from me doing that, right? Look. And this is not including all the hair that fell on me that didn't get caught in this comb. So, just from those couple of combs, mind you, it wasn't tangled. I had just brushed before I got on camera. Every time you comb it, it would just shed all this. So it just got ridiculous. And again, like I said, I had just combed this out before I got on camera, so it's not like I just pulled it out of a bag and, you know, super tangled. It wasn't tangled at all. There was no tangles to it, and all that hair came off still. Like, that was just ridiculous. Imagine dealing with that every day. And those hairs that are coming out, it's coming from this frontal. Like, it's literally just pulling from here. So it's just, the more you comb it, the more it's gonna bald, and you can't not comb your hair or you're gonna be looking crazy. So as you can see, that's why I had to I could only really wear it from January to February. I wore it for a little bit of March, and even when I wore it in March, I was kind of pushing it, honestly. The frontal didn't last at all. It lasted like 2 months, I would say. So I would say nay to the frontal, and I don't know why it shed so much. I'm not sure if it's because maybe I bleached it and maybe I left the bleach on for too long, but that doesn't make sense to me because everybody bleaches their knots. So I don't think you bleaching your knots should make your hair fall out. It should make the hair fall out of the frontal, and if that's the case, that's kind of a problem. So whether it was from bleaching or not, either way, that's not all right to me. So not sure if I got a bad frontal or what, but this frontal is a no-go for me because this is just traumatizing. I'm not even joking. Like, are all frontals like this? I don't think so. I haven't heard anyone complain about it balding this bad. So I don't know if all frontals are like this, or if I just got like I said, if I just got a bad frontal. But goodness, like, ugh. But other than the frontal, the actual bundles of the hair, like the actual bundles are still really good. They don't shed a lot. I would say it sheds regularly, like any bundles would. So the actual bundles of the hair are still really good. They still hold a curl. It's still soft for the most part. I do need to wash this and condition it, but the bundles are still good. Like, the bundles are still usable. If I didn't have to deal with that frontal, I probably still could have been wearing this wig with the bundles, because I do like to wear hair for at least 3 months minimum before I give a review. At least 3 months minimum before, like, you know, I switch it out if I'm swapping it out. But the bundles are still really good. They're still holding up. Like I said, it's soft. Again, this is the Indian body wave hair. Maybe, I'm not sure because it was Indian hair, that's why I was balding, because I normally get Brazilian hair. So I don't know if that's why, if it has to do with the texture, if it has to do with the fact that I was bleaching the knots too long, if it has to do with maybe just got a bad frontal. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But all I know is that this kind of scarred me, because I don't think that's supposed to happen. Is it supposed to happen? Like I said, the frontal is a no for me, but the bundles are a yes. Like, I would definitely still reuse these bundles. I would definitely order bundles from UNICE hair again. I would just never in my life ever order a frontal, unless if someone can explain to me why that happened. If it's the texture, if I got a bad frontal, if that's normal, not normal, or what. But I'm never ordering a frontal from UNICE hair ever again. It was just a bad experience. Like, I know this is affordable hair, but dang, you kind of get what you pay for. So I don't know. All I know is that I am buying no more frontals from UNICE hair, that's for sure. Yeah, but that's the wig that I was wearing, and I know a lot of people asked about it, so this is it. I use the elastic band, and this was my first time using a band. I recommend using a band definitely if you're using a frontal, for sure. It just kind of helps keep it snug and like stay in place. I will use a frontal again. I just won't use a frontal again from UNICE hair, because I did like the idea of a frontal. If you do buy a frontal, just understand that it might not last very long. But other than that, that is my review of the UNICE hair. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.